At NIA, our ultimate goal is to be at a 3.0 networking, okay? And what does that mean? Some people ask that, and I'm like, well, 1.0 is just, oh, I know you. I met you at a happy hour. I met you at a social event. I like you. I know you. I like you. 2.0 is, I'm in a group of committed people that are committed to each other. There's mandatory meetings, there's accountability.
Yeah.
You two have developed to the 3.0 networking, which is the ultimate way, where you're not just referring business to each other, but you're partnering.
Yeah.
Share with us a little bit about your story on how that evolved and what you're doing now and what the results your clients are seeing.
I had a client come to me with a problem, and I remembered little bits of information about Tammy and her value point. I thought, is this something you can help with? Well, yes, I can. And that's kind of how that started.
Well, I'll tell you the 3.0 piece of that then was when you know these people that you've been networking with exceptionally well, which Tanya took the time to get to, once that question came across.
Yeah.
She asked some great questions about can you help and how would you help?
Yeah.
She wrote the most beautiful introduction to this potential, to her referral. I didn't have to do, I sent an email, I'm like, hey, new contact, so nice to meet you. And she's like, when do we get started? I didn't sell any, it was a done deal. Tanya did such a great job of setting me up that, and I think the way you did that was by setting it up as if we were a team.
Right.
Like what you said, this is Tammy, we work together, blah, blah, blah. And it was magical. There was literally no sale. She sold for me.
Yeah.
And the great thing about that was working with that client, there was a fair amount of back and forth. And the client wasn't always the most forthcoming with either one of us when we needed her to be.
Right.
So I could reach out and I'd be like, hey, what's going on with whatever?
Yeah.
She would do the same and we could keep things rolling. And then this client would say, oh my gosh, you guys worked, it's great. I'm so glad that you just did the thing.
The right hand knows what the left hand
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
So we would create this, kind of put our arms around the whole project, even though you had your own thing you were doing, I have my own thing.
Right.
Where they overlapped, we worked together.
The more we've been able to collaborate and work together on projects, the more and more we've become not so much dependent, but almost symbiotic in a relationship. And you had mentioned earlier, marketing and operations consulting, those aren't typical networking partners. But because of how we've been able to bring clients into that fold when we see these different things, because as a brand manager, I recognize branding is way beyond what does your logo look like and what are you saying. There's all these other things that can affect somebody's brand. Is your website not secure? Are you getting bad reviews?
Can you fulfill your orders?
Can you fulfill your orders? Or, so that is where an operational person is vital. And on the flip side, she sees that. So today, because of that, I actually went and committed to her probably a couple weeks ago to actually build a separate placement out on my own website because I feel like this partnership is that powerful and is that big of a benefit to clients. And so it's become more of a, not just a networking, who can I send your direction, but how do we start working with them together on this?
But I mean, I think that's the power of it is we're really good at what we do. And clients hire one of us to do something, and we just expand our reach when we partner together, and the client shouldn't know all the gory details because we're working in our own expertise. So the clients feel a level of it's taken care of. Almost to the point where we couldn't get an answer from a client or two because they thought we were just working magic. So the outcome for that client is everything that they wanted to have done and more was done, and they had to give it this much thought.
Which I'm sure they really appreciated.
And that then led to additional business because once we had an understanding of how we worked and our individual knowledge base and what we could do, we were discovering things about each other that took that even deeper. And so then the next time a client came up, it was like, how do I pull Tammy into this one? And what could Tammy do to help this person? And it might not even been something, again, we talked about this a little bit, where somebody comes to us with a problem, they think it's here, and then we find out, no, wait, we've got C, D, and E over here we have to tackle. Now, who can I help bring into this to tighten that up so we can get back to what your end goal was here? And so we've had a number of clients now that we've been able to collaborate with.